Hello, whisperers. Welcome to the channel. If you enjoy tonight's tale, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It helps more than you know. Now, dim the lights, and let's begin tonight's story. When I got hired at the Hollow Creek Inn, I thought it'd be easy money. One night shift, one sleepy highway motel, $8 an hour, cash. The manager, a gray-haired man named Carl, didn't bother with small talk. He slid a folded piece of paper across the counter and said, "Read it before midnight. You'll be fine if you follow it." That was the entire orientation. I laughed because I thought it was one of those "don't steal towels" lists. Then I noticed the ink. It wasn't printed. It was written by hand, thick black strokes, like someone had pressed too hard with a marker. Across the top, rules for the night shift. Amelia, the girl finishing her shift, was already zipping up her backpack. Her eyes were red, not crying red, just tired in the wrong way. "What's this?" I asked, holding up the paper. "Just the rules," she said without meeting my eyes. "Like cleaning stuff? Towels, checkouts, whatever?" She gave a nervous half laugh. "Yeah, something like that." Then she added under her breath, "You'll understand by morning." That should have been my first clue. The lobby was quiet after she left. Old clock ticking. Fluorescent lights humming like bugs were trapped inside them. The air smelled faintly of disinfectant and old carpet. I unfolded the paper. Rules for the night shift. Hollow Creek Inn. 1. At midnight exactly, knock 3 times on room 217. Don't wait for a response. Don't look through the peephole. Just walk away. 2. If the lobby clock stops ticking, hide under the front desk until it chimes again. Do not look at the clock. 3. If anyone asks for extra towels after 3 a.m., tell them the washer's broken. They'll insist. Don't listen. 4. Never answer the phone if it rings from line 2. There's never been a line 2. 5. Keep the front doors locked between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. Even if someone outside says your name. 6. If you see a woman in a blue dress on the security cameras, switch them off. Do not try to find her in person. 7. When the sun rises, burn this list. I laughed again because who wouldn't? It felt like a prank, like the kind of creepy hazing someone pulls on the new guy. Still, I pinned the paper behind the counter, right next to the faded Wi-Fi password sign. Around midnight, the clock on the wall chimed 12 times. I hesitated. Then I thought, why not? Room 217 was on the second floor, halfway down the hall. The carpet muffled my footsteps. Every door was closed. Most had "Do Not Disturb" tags still hanging. When I reached 217, I knocked 3 times. just to play along. No response. But as I turned to leave, I heard the click of the doorknob behind me. Slow, careful. I told myself it was just air pressure or old hinges, but something about the sound, that deliberate pause before the latch released, made my stomach tighten. I didn't look back. I just kept walking. By 1 a.m., the hotel had gone dead silent. No TV static, no plumbing noises, nothing. Just that hum of fluorescent light and the occasional creak from the ceiling above. I checked the cameras out of boredom. 4 feeds, front desk, hallway, parking lot, stairwell. That's when I noticed it. The hallway feed showed a figure standing outside room 217. Not moving, not walking, just standing there facing the door. The image flickered, then cleared. Empty hallway again. I told myself it was a glitch. Maybe I was tired. Still, I turned off the monitor just in case. Around 2 a.m., the front doors rattled. 3 sharp knocks, then a voice. "Hey man, you forgot to give me my receipt." It was Amelia's voice. I swear to God it sounded exactly like her. But I remembered the rule. Keep the doors locked between 2 and 4. Even if someone says your name. She said it then. My name. Softly. Through the glass. "Hey, Stan, open up, please." I didn't move. I didn't breathe. After maybe a full minute, the voice sighed. Too close now, right against the seam of the door, and whispered, "See you in the morning." Then footsteps, slow ones, heading away down the hall outside. I stayed under the desk until sunrise. When Carl came in, I told him I was done. He didn't argue. He just said, "Burn the list before you leave." I did, or at least I thought I did. But when I unpacked my bag at home that afternoon, the paper was folded neatly inside. A fresh copy, and a new line added at the bottom. 8. Don't quit. You still owe us another night. I told myself I wasn't going back. But the thing about money is, it talks louder than fear. Carl called the next afternoon. Said Amelia never showed up to pick up her final paycheck. "Just one more night," he told me. "Then I'll find someone else." So I went back. The hotel looked the same, but it felt different. Like the walls were listening. That list of rules was waiting for me again, sitting neatly on the counter. Same handwriting, except someone had crossed out Rule 7, the one about burning it. Underneath in shaky ink was a new one. 7. If you return after quitting, the rules will change. Pay attention. I read that line about 10 times before I heard the clock tick. It was already 11:50. I decided to do everything right this time. No looking into room 217. No ignoring the rules. Just follow the list. Finish the shift. Go home. At midnight, I went upstairs and knocked 3 times on 217. Same as before. This time, the door opened halfway on its own. I froze. The room was dark, but I could see the corner of a bed, the glint of a mirror. Something shifted in there, like the air itself bent around a shape. Then the door closed again, slowly, firmly. I turned and walked back down the hall without breathing. Around 1 a.m., the lobby clock stopped ticking. I heard it, just the sudden absence of sound, like someone had cut the world's power. And I remembered Rule 2, hide under the front desk until it chimes again. So I did. For 3 minutes, maybe 5, I crouched there with my hands over my ears. Then, tick, the second hand started again. I stood up and tried to laugh it off, but something was off about the lobby. The air felt heavier, the lights buzzed too loud, and the security camera monitors had changed. Feed number 3, the hallway, was showing room 217 again. Only now the door was wide open, and there were 2 people standing in the doorway, facing the camera, not moving. I turned the monitor off, my stomach cold. When I looked up, the lobby clock had jumped ahead to 3:06. The phone rang. I glanced at the display, line 2. I didn't answer. It rang and rang, a wet, heavy sound, like gurgling instead of ringing. Then it stopped, and someone knocked on the front door. I saw her in the reflection before I turned. Amelia. Same clothes, same tired look. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "Hey," she said through the glass, voice muffled but too steady. I left my jacket inside. I said nothing. "Come on," she said. "It's cold." Her hand pressed against the door. That's when I saw the skin on her wrist, gray, veined, stretched too tight. Rule 5. Keep the front doors locked between 2 and 4 a.m., even if someone outside says your name. I backed away. She kept smiling, but her mouth didn't move right. It opened too wide, too slow. Something dark ran down her chin like ink. Then her head tilted sideways almost 90 degrees, and she whispered, "They're not guests." And the lights went out. Every bulb, every camera feed, dead. Only the faint green glow of the exit sign remained, flickering in the corner. That's when I heard the elevator ding. Someone was coming down, the lobby filled with that wet breathing sound, like something dragging its lungs along the carpet. The elevator doors opened, but I couldn't see anything, just darkness. Then, soft footsteps, bare feet, coming closer. I ducked behind the counter again, heart pounding, waiting for that clock to tick or the lights to come back. Instead, something brushed against the counter's edge, like fingers, and then a whisper right above me. "You looked in 217. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. The footsteps circled once, slow, deliberate, then faded toward the hall. After what felt like hours, the lights flickered back on. The lobby clock was ticking again. 4 a.m. When Carl arrived that morning, I didn't say a word. He looked at me, pale as the sunrise behind him, and said, "You followed the rules this time?" I nodded, he exhaled. Then you'll make it through one more night. I quit for real after that. I thought I'd finally escaped. But when I got home, there was a voicemail on my phone. Static for a while, then a voice that wasn't quite human. See you at checkout. By the third night, I found myself parked outside Hollow Creek again, staring through the windshield at those flickering lobby lights. The sign out front buzzed and sputtered. Vacancy. Carl wasn't there this time. No cars in the lot. No sound but the wind sliding through the cracked siding. The door was unlocked. The paper sat on the counter, waiting for me. Only 3 rules now. 1. There will be no guests tonight. 2. The clock will stop at 3:17. Don't hide this time. Watch. 3. When the phone rings, answer. It was the same handwriting, but now the ink was darker, wet. By midnight, the silence felt alive. I couldn't hear the building creak anymore. Couldn't hear the hum of the lights. Just my heartbeat and that steady tick, tick, tick from the lobby clock. I turned on the cameras. Nothing on the feeds. Not even static. Just a gray fog that never moved. And yet, something was moving. In the reflection of the front glass, behind me, the hallway stretched longer than it should have. The exit sign looked a mile away. At 3:17, the clock stopped. And this time, I didn't hide. The sound that replaced it was faint at first, breathing through walls. Then a whisper through the vents, still owe us another night. Room doors upstairs began to open, one after another. Soft clicks, like polite guests stepping out for air, except the hallway feed flickered back on, and there weren't people walking. They were shapes, tall, uneven, dragging limbs that bent the wrong way, and all of them were coming toward the lobby. I grabbed the phone. It rang once, then stopped. Then a voice, the same as mine, said, "Don't look away from the camera." So I didn't. I watched as those things shuffled closer, passing through walls like shadows, pressed into flesh. Each time they reached a door, they paused, and another version of me stepped out. Dozens of me, each with a different expression, one yawning, one laughing, one screaming without sound. They gathered in front of room 217, and the door opened for them all. Then the feed went black. The lobby phone rang again. My hand shook when I lifted the receiver. The voice on the other end was distorted, like someone talking through water. "Welcome to Hollow Creek Inn. Late checkout available upon request." The lights flickered. I turned toward the hallway, and she was standing there, the woman in the blue dress. Her face wasn't wrong, just too perfect, like a portrait that learned to move. She smiled and said, "You didn't follow Rule 1. I looked toward the clock, still stopped. The floor groaned under her bare feet as she came closer. Behind her, the others followed. The Amelias, the Carls, the me's, each one whispering the rules under their breath. I backed toward the counter, but the door was gone. Just wallpaper and the faint outline of where the exit used to be. "Checkouts at sunrise," she said. And then she reached for me. I woke up outside. The sun was rising behind the hotel, bleeding through the fog like an open wound. My car door was open, keys still in the ignition. My uniform smelled like smoke. When I looked in the rearview mirror, there was something written across the back seat in black ink, the same handwriting as the rules. Rule 4, never leave the property. It's been 3 nights since then. I've driven hundreds of miles, but every road loops back here. Every gas station attendant looks a little like Carl. Every clock stops at 3:17. So I'm writing this now, in the lobby, while the lights hum and the phone starts to ring. Because if anyone reads this, if you ever get offered the night shift at the Hollow Creek Inn, burn the list. And for the love of God, don't answer the phone.